This meeting is being recorded.
Well, okay, that was loud. Yeah, what you said is really the point. So we are practicing awareness or mindfulness to learn better how we work, to learn deeper ourselves and how it works, how the mind works, how the body works. And it's typically, there's some things in our life where we lose awareness, where we kind of lose the insight into what happens here, and something happens and we don't know how it happened. And so it could be some unconscious behavior like the wine, it could be some kind of interaction, like the way you interact with someone, a loved one, for example, whether it's some kind of irritation or reaction or explosions that appear there, or it's a withdrawal from some interaction. And there are these kind of unconscious behaviors which is here and there sprinkled in our lives, and we are training basically to maintain our awareness and to see what exactly happens there. And maybe it keeps happening, but we try to see more closely. Okay, if I have that intention to not have the bottle of wine, and then what happens there that evening, or that where it's kind of forgotten, or is there some urge? When is the urge first arise to drink it? How does it feel drinking it? How is it after that? And to just observe the body and mind in this entire process is the training. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah. So it's okay.
But overall, it's been an overwhelmingly positive experience. I've really enjoyed it, and the feedback on the chat is really good as well. You know, a lot of those things are common, aren't they? That different people experience. It's nice to be in a group where it's shared. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. It has been a really good and very eye-opening.
Do you have something else, Colin, that you want to bring up or ask? Otherwise, I'll circle around to others.
No, you carry on. Let some other people have a go, I think.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, everyone else. Suzanne, you haven't been in the Q&A before. How are you?
No, technology got the better of me, and for some reason my computer wouldn't work. The joy. Yeah, thank you for hosting this, and I watched the other Q&A and I found it quite useful. You know, like Colin was saying, hearing other people sharing, and you know, understanding that everything is as it should be. It's normal, and it's kind of excuse me, part of the process. But I've really got an awful lot out of the last. Today is day 8, is it? I think so. But yeah, it's really been a positive experience. And I've just followed everything that you've said, every suggestion. I found your kind of little interventions during the meditation really useful, and just at the point when I needed them. And I find that fascinating, you know, that it's almost like you're there with me when I'm meditating, and you can read my mind and say, now watch that delusion, or watch that, observe that feeling or that pain, or, you know, and so I'm pleasantly surprised with the online experience. I think it's been really beneficial compared to going to an actual place and doing your meditation, you know, because with various people's lifestyles, it's just wonderful to be able to do this twice a day and have you follow us.
Yeah. What's been challenging for you, Suzanne? Has there been some?
I mean, I've done Vipassana before, twice before. Yeah, with Goenka, yeah. So I have to be honest, Goenka doesn't do, at least the 2 I did, he doesn't do a walking meditation. And when I heard at the beginning you were going to suggest a walking meditation, I was like, oh God, I hate walking meditation. And I do, because I tried it a few times because I practice yoga. And I was pleasantly surprised this time with you. You know, I'd watched the video you supplied about how to walk, how to, you know, observe, how to turn, and all those little things that, you know, you probably think, well, the students know, actually are really useful. So I went into it following your instruction, and I really got I'm still getting a lot out of it, and I look forward to that. And I can see the transition from walking to sitting. And it's kind of a nice transition because it's a different kind of feeling, you know, of action, that I could probably bring into my daily life quite easily. Whereas maybe sitting, you know, every day, I always start great, and then it kind of things block me. So, you know, I've found the walking aspect.
What tends to block you?
Oh, the usual laziness, busy, social, you know, Instagram, TV. I mean, you know, I live in a small apartment in the middle of Milan, and it's really noisy. And I know you said get used to the noise. I do. I accept it. My partner is here, you know, so I've been working around him and getting up at like 5 a.m, so he can just get up when he needs to. And, you know, we've been working it that way. But I mean, my intention is good, but like all human beings, I'm fragile or frail.
Yes, yes, exactly. So you have to get to know yourself, and what are your trolls that come to haunt you and kind of like eat away at your
Oh,
commitment,
yeah.
eat away at your discipline, and how do you set up your life to because you know yourself better and you know what you will do, and if there's certain leeway or too much strictness can also be a hindrance. Actually, if we are too hard on ourselves, as
Mm,
Colin was saying before, sometimes there's like a rebellion in the mind, like we use so much effort to be disciplined and then the mind rebels into the
mm,
opposite after a few days.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
So to know how to try, I would recommend you to try out things and see how you can maintain that daily practice, because it is really it's the pillar of uh, introducing the meditation, really having it to be part of your life, is to have that daily practice,
yeah,
and then also to make it something that you do off the cushion. So you've
yeah.
done 2 retreats now with Goenka, which is fantastic. I really like his retreats, and a little bit different style, but it's
Mm,
also really valuable.
mm.
And whichever technique works for you better,
Yeah, yeah,
to stick with that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I definitely. I mean, I think, you know, to be able to do this as a kind of an alternative and plug in, that way, I think is just a real revelation. So yeah, uh,
Do you have any
I,
specific questions uh, about
no,
the?
not really. Not really. I mean, as I say, your guidance has been so good that on day 6, I had delusion with my meditation, and I kind of observed it and went, oh, right, that's what you said would be. That was the title of the video. And then yesterday I had,
What kind of delusion? What do you call delusion?
judging my quality of meditation,
Yeah.
you know, as the thoughts come by. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, the more you become aware, the more you see how many thoughts and rubbish is in your brain, and conversations of the future, the past, or wait till I tell my friend this. And it's stopping each time. And as you said this morning, not judging or criticizing, it's accepting it's there, and, you know, observing, but getting on with it, you know. Like, I love what you said this morning about, you know, meditation isn't just, you know, being quiet and not thinking of anything. So, you know, I really find your words really useful, to just remember and to take a step back, but also participate in seeing how many thoughts you have. And it is quite, I don't know if it's a female thing, sorry guys, but women think an awful lot about stuff. And it's like so many levels, because I can do the right foot touch. Yeah. No, but I can do the right foot touch, left foot touch, all that, and then still be thinking, you know, oh, this, that. And it's like, you know, what am I doing? You know, like it's ridiculous. So it's just
one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you for all your help.
Thank you for seeing it that way. I'm happy you are receiving. Great. Cool. Then I'll just check in with some others here and see how they are. But yeah, if you think of any other specific questions, you're welcome to share. Andrea, I believe you also have not joined before. How are you? I see your camera is black and you are muted. Perhaps not. Okay. Yvette, how's it going for you?
Hello, good morning. Yeah, like I definitely want to continue after 10 days because yeah, the busyness that I was experiencing last few weeks was definitely, I would say, hinder my experience of these meditations. But yeah, like I definitely need to create more space for me to be able to utilize it more, you know, like not to be so busy with so many other things and kind of like doing this challenge. I always call this stuff when I do something for myself, like a challenges. Then it was like another item on a to-do list that was pressing me in a way. But I mean, like, it definitely helped me, that's for sure, like meditating every day. I think I managed my stress much better with it, but still, yeah, definitely, I don't feel like I did the best job. Like, for example, what was not helping me as well is sometimes I was just tired, and the quality of meditation wasn't there when I was tired. Some mornings I couldn't do it as well because I just needed to go. And then I got late back, then it was time for only evening meditation, so I didn't do it like twice after each other. So yeah, but
what do you feel is a good time for you after this course? What do you feel is something that's realistic for you, to how much space you can dedicate to a practice?
I mean, like mornings are not bad, but I have for example, what I notice is like I have certain let's say track, you know, habit of like what I do in the morning, how I prepare myself for a day, and I just couldn't kind of like I didn't feel like interrupting that to do the meditation in a way. Like already what I do in the morning is kind of like a meditation for me in a different way. And so I didn't do that, and I wanted to do the meditation after that. Some days I could when I didn't need to leave, but some days I have to leave in the morning, so that's why I didn't have space for it. And so yeah, like evening is definitely better, but again, like on the days when I don't have to go anywhere, then of course I would be attempting to do it also in the morning.
Yes.
Maybe also in the middle of the day would be good, but again, it would need to be the day when I don't need to again go somewhere else and spend their time doing something.
Did you find on
So
the days that you
I just don't want to put after this I don't want to put pressure on myself that I have to do it every morning, every evening, every day. So it's like when I would really feel I had that space to give it quality of my energy into it, you know, like if I don't have energy for it to be at least a certain level of quality, then I would rather just rest, for example.
Yeah.
And if I would have it, then I would do it. And that's also, I guess, in whatever that you are learning, like when you are too tired, when you want to learn to play, I don't know, guitar or piano,
May I
whatever.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
On the days that you did manage to meditate and you were very busy throughout the day, did you find you were different?
What was different?
Did you find you were different on the days that you practiced, on the days you meditated, but you were still busy? Did you find you were different?
Like different from before the challenge?
Different from if you hadn't meditated, let's say.
Yeah, as I said, like I would say, like I definitely was managing stress better. I calmer, more present also during the day. So even the days, like when I needed to, as I said, like go somewhere and do something, then I was trying to be more in present moment. So I would say there is always some level of busyness when you need to do some activity, but within the activity, I was able to stay kind of like mindful, not rushing, and just like realize that okay, I'm here, I cannot go anywhere, and this is being done, or I'm doing this. So within the activities, I wasn't rushing, but again, like still, I need to do a lot of other stuff. So
Yeah.
but yeah, in the evening,
What does it mean for you to be mindful during activity? I'm curious about that.
mindful is that I like maybe in the control of my emotions as well, like calming myself down internally and not having that much thoughts, like mindful is like, yeah, I can kind of like shut down my mind, calm it down, and maybe as well only focus it on what is what I'm doing in the moment, what I want to be focusing on, and not thinking about other stuff, what I need to do afterwards, then blah blah and so on. So
Yes. That's nice. I would suggest, or I would invite you to really see that even on the days where you are very busy and you have a lot of things to do, to not, it's usually those days where the meditation is the most helpful, but it is the least pleasant to do, because we don't have so much space and we feel we don't have so much quality and depth to go into when we practice. But you can manage to do maybe less time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and maybe you will sit there and you will feel, oh, I am just continuously thinking about what I need to do and things. But the fact that you make this space in those times of busyness will make a huge difference in how you relate to the busy mind, because now a little bit I'm hearing that it's very difficult for you to meditate more when you are very busy and there's a lot going on in your life and in your mind. But to change the relationship to the meditation, that it doesn't need to be something where you're always empty and peaceful. And I really like what you said about being mindful during the activities, to be more with what you are, to notice when you are starting to rush, and when you start to get extra agitation or frustration or worry or anxiety, and jumping into the outcome of it very quickly. And I think you will benefit a lot from, I think you will get a lot of benefit from practicing just a little bit. Okay, even just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, if you can manage 1 or 2 minutes on the days you feel you have 1 million things to do.
yeah, I can do 5 minutes.
Yes. Oh, great. 5 minutes. I think this will make a big difference for you. It's another interesting. This is more broader for everyone. Another interesting thing is like how do we set up our lives? And there's a certain way that we can set up our lives where there is less busyness, of course, and a more simpler way of existing, a more simpler lifestyle, and more simpler things you interact with, because sometimes we feel that we need to do a million things, and then from doing those million things, a million more different things start to emerge, which I need to do, because you are trying to engage with so many different things, and you are spread very thinly everywhere. And how to simplify and have a more minimalistic lifestyle, not because maybe it means you let go of some outcomes, or it means you let go of one thing that you want to do, but you are prioritizing the quality of your life and the quality of your stress and your body and your mind, and having space every day to sit with yourself and to ask yourself, what is it that's important to you? What is it that's important to you in life? Do you want to continue for a long time, like with a more complicated lifestyle of many things, or maybe simplification is something that you might value? And I'm not saying the answer to that question, but to kind of check, to make it a conscious choice. I'm consciously choosing to be very busy and stressed, or maybe not stressed, but I'm consciously choosing to be very busy and engaged with a lot of things, but I understand what that choice brings and why I'm doing it. Just a thought. Colin, you have a friend.
It's
Hello.
it's daughter Amber.
Hello, daughter. Hello, Amber.
Some catastrophe has happened, but I'm not sure what it is. I think it's
Oh,
something
no.
to do with breakfast. You're gonna smile. Oh, she's not too happy.
Oh, no. There's a catastrophe that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's to do with Nutella or something like that. Okay. It's interesting, actually, what you're saying about fitting into your day and about being conscious about what you do in your day. Because that's quite a big topic of how your lifestyle, isn't it? Because I think a lot of us are just busy and we fall into a very busy lifestyle without giving it much thought. So I like what you're saying about actually consciously trying to choose how you spend your time and energy. That's very interesting and useful. I mean, that's the right thing to be doing, isn't it? But it doesn't seem apparent normally. Yeah.
I like this phrase, meditation circles. We are learning to live an examined life.
Mm-hmm.
Learning to live an examined life. So we are not taking things for the way they are, or the way they are prescribed, or the way it is. And we're also not using too much like our ideas and ideals about how it should be, but it is through the investigation, through the awareness of what really happens inside us, inside our bodies, inside our minds, and we give the space to get to know ourselves. We all have a little bit different nature, and we all have our gifts. We all have our things we're overly sensitive towards, and things we're easily annoyed by. And maybe for some of us, it's really nice to have more busyness, but to really know for yourself where these decisions come from, and to investigate also. So the Buddha, he's teaching about the truth of dukkha, or suffering, discontentment, dis-ease. And there's something about investigating how does dis-ease arise in our lives, and when are we making decisions from dis-ease? So when are we making decisions from fear, from hatred, or from greed? Because usually the decisions that come from those root emotions, fear, greed, hatred, they lead to more situations of which create these kind of states in us. An example: driving home today, and there's let's say there's the fear that I'm going to be tired when I come home and not be able to do the call. And there's some fear there associated with that. And okay, maybe it means I go get the coffee. I go get the coffee, and I have less time to rest at home. I have the coffee, I feel more energy for some time, which tires me out actually. And afterwards, there's some kind of impact on the body and mind. And there's a lowness, there's a feeling of lowness. And maybe then I do this call, and I get self-conscious of this lowness or this low energy sensation. And there's fear in me and the way I act. And I interact with you guys in the call, and the type of answers I give, whether they're coming more from fear of needing to impress, or whether they're coming from relaxation and open place. And there's this kind of chain reaction that comes when we're making these decisions from fear or from hatred or from greed, which are easy. And what we're doing in the meditation is to stop, to give space, to rest, and just to see what is there. And to let the things automatically, the nature of it is that the things start to release more. Probably you notice that when you meditate, maybe you sit down with something, and somehow just by not doing anything, slowly it's like the body and mind wants to actually find its equilibrium when you stop doing things. But we feel, to get to equilibrium, I need to do something else. I need to consume something, I need to do something, I need to do some extra, and then I will be in equilibrium or in balance or in peace. And there's always this feeling of, I need to just get the balance, the things just right, and then it will be okay and happy. But the life is always like this, no? And to just, okay, maybe it's about just putting down the things.
Yeah, it's often easy to be chasing the things that you think are necessary. I think that is what you're saying, if I'm understanding right. You want to try and achieve something. Sometimes I put things off because I think, I need to. Sometimes you're better just cracking on and having a good go at it.
And sometimes put it down, and sometimes feel actually it's necessary.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
Hello, Andrea. Hello, Andrea. You are on mute, but we would love to hear from you.
Yeah. Hi everybody. Today's meditation, morning meditation, you said, and I started thinking then about it. You said we should not label I am feeling or I am hearing and so on, but only hearing and feeling. But what's the difference?
What's the difference for you when you do that?
Yeah. No, what's the difference? You said we shouldn't label I am hearing, but only hearing.
Did you do it? Did you try it?
Yeah, but
Do you notice any difference?
yeah, I thought about it, but I tried it, and yeah, it's not personal. It's like observing. If I only say hearing, like I am the observer myself.
Exactly this is the nice. So there is this very strong habit in us to personalize everything. To take it is also related to taking things personally, taking situations personally. If someone says no to you, we feel rejected, we take it personally. If someone praises some situation, we take it personally, we feel very happy and elated. And we take our thoughts very personally. We really believe our stories and our thoughts that are happening inside our head, the stories about everything, both the positive and negative, the stories about guilty, about how I should be better, how I could be better, the stories of self-perfection, the stories of not doing it right, the stories of wanting something better. We are taking all of these things personally all the time. And to label it as just thinking instead of, oh, I am thinking this thought again, or I am judging myself, but to just realize, oh, judging is happening on its own, thinking is happening on its own, is to take a step back from it and not to put oneself in that thought, not to personalize or feel it's everything is our fault and we are in control of everything. We are probably much less in control of things, of situations, but even also of our thoughts than we believe. So this is the idea behind labeling that.
Thank you.
How was it before? How is it so your second course? And yeah, what's different now?
It's easier to settle down meanwhile, and I still enjoy your guidance. That's I when I had problems with the downloading, I tried it by my own twice, and yes, it's not the same. I still need your guidance, I think. I enjoy it.
What was it like to do it on your own?
I felt a little bit, lost, and yes, your words push me back, and I'm my thoughts were everywhere. I wasn't concerned really. And maybe because I wasn't sure if I would do it right.
Yes, this is really actually important thing to think about also beyond the course when you try to apply meditating for yourself more. And of course, with guidance, you are constantly reminded of the principles basically that support you, that support the technique, and you're reminded from the outside, from hearing my voice. And I would like to invite you that over time you are developing inner guidance, like an inner feeling or voice or compass, let's say, for how your meditation is going and what you need to adjust. Do you need to use a little bit more effort? Do you need to, oh, Andrea, you are like, there's doubting coming up in your head, like, am I doing it right? Oh, I don't have the guidance. Am I doing it right? So in that moment to recognize, okay, this is just doubting. This is the doubting mind, the thinking mind happening. And the key to that, of course, it takes time to develop this, but it's really about getting to know yourself. And the guidance is just supporting you to get to know yourself and your own mind and your habits and what you tend to fall into. And but the application or the ultimate test is really also without, of course, my voice, to be able to self recognize that, oh, now I'm stuck in this and I need to notice this. And I think also really to keep it very simple, like the only job for you is to be aware of what's going on, to check what's happening right now, what's happening in my body, what's happening in my mind. This is the basics of it. And all my other extra layers of words and ideas and little tips are just kind of like tips and tricks to help you, which you'll develop over your own, in your own. They are kind of like, everything I say is my own tips and tricks that I developed for myself over time through self-observation, through realizing how things happen inside me, and to know what I need, what helps in that moment and what doesn't help in that moment. So for you to apply the technique in your life is about learning, getting to know yourself and learning what works.
Yeah. Oh, practice.
So it's good actually to try without the guidance, and to have that experience, the 2 hour, and you learn something. You learn something. You see something that you cannot see if you're using the guidance. You see that self-doubting voice that you actually avoid when you're using the guidance a lot, because it doesn't come up.
Mm.
So it's about learning. It's not about having perfect meditation. It's about learning about it.
And practicing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There was 2 questions in the chat which I want to address from Jen. Let me write down the time so I can address them. So we have, and maybe these are the last 2. We can finish the session. From Jen, I experienced strong emotions arise during the last 2 days meditation. Unexpectedly, emotions that elicited a brief ache in my heart area and tears. I felt able to remain very aware of the experience, not lost in the stories or thoughts. I felt present with it and able to return to the breath and open to what's next. What kind of guidance exists related to intense emotions passing through briefly with tears? So Jen and everyone else, this can appear in the meditations. It can appear when there's some emotional situations in life, reflecting them. It can appear when there's some emotions we haven't felt, we haven't had the space to feel from the past. And something can appear, but the way you dealt with it is the textbook answer. So to remain with the experience, to remain aware of the experience, to notice the thinking about it, to notice the body component of it, to notice when you're trying to grasp or hold on to it, or try to solve it, or try to make it go away, or try to intensify it, or often we then try to analyze it, or where did it come from, and I need to go to the root of it to work it out from a psychotherapeutic standpoint or something. But in meditation, it would just be to be aware and to rest in it and to allow it. The strong emotion is just like any other experience of your body and your mind. It's just like any other strong worry, or it's a strong anxiety, or is it strong grief, or a happiness. So to notice it going on and to allow it. So that's perfect. You did it. And you can notice it with the labels. Well, yeah. So Let it come and let it go. It also changes and passes. And relates to the second question, Jen, about if I can say, can you say more about being unmoved? I feel a strong resistance to this idea, or maybe I'm resistant to applying that way of being into daily life. I don't aspire to be a person who is unmoved. I equate unmoved with unfeeling. I don't think that's what you intend to mean. So I'm looking for a different description of what you mean by unmoved. Unmoved is not to not feel. So unmoved is more like what you said in question 1. It is you're experiencing something. There is a strong emotion. There's a strong reaction in the body and mind, but you are not moved to fear or hatred or greed by the experience. You are being with the experience, and it doesn't. Maybe there is some fear. Maybe there is some hatred or irritation or annoyance, or maybe there is some greed, grasping after how it should be or could be better. But you just recognize and allow this experience to pass through open-heartedly. It's having an open heart towards this experience that's happening in every given moment. And in my personal experience with it is that we are not becoming unfeeling zombies, actually. It's almost the contrary. The more there is permission and open-heartedness and allowingness, the more actually in my own life I've experienced deeper emotions and emotions which are more, let's say, undivided experiences. An undivided experience of an emotion of anger, an undivided experience of emotion of love or sadness. Because usually there is sadness and anger and whatever else, and there's the fear around it, or the hatred around it, or the numbing off around it that is extra and divides us. But just to have an undivided experience of whatever is happening right now is the idea of the practice. Great. I will. Is there anything else that anyone has very urgently? Otherwise, we will close the session. Oh, good. Good. So there's two more days left of the course. I wish you. Oh, one moment. There's someone knocking. Oh, geez. There's 2 more days left of the course. So I wish you a wonderful last 2 days. Use these 2 days wisely. Use them valuably. They are just as good as any other days. And I will also provide some hints or feedback around how you can continue to practice in the videos. But otherwise, yeah, thank you so much for your trust and for showing up to these Q&As. It's always nice to see and interact with people who are receiving. Thank you.
Thanks, Raymar. Really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed your guidance. It's been great. Really good. Thanks.
Yes, thank you so much.
Look, Andrea, it's your daughter.
Hi. Finger.
See you guys. Bye.